Hey everyone, welcome to the Costume Jewelry Chronicles with Lynn and Carrie. Each episode we will feature a new vintage costume jewelry designer and talk a little bit about jewelry reselling. We hope you enjoy. Welcome everyone to the Jewelry Call. It is March 18th and Carrie's in charge of the call today, so we get to listen to some exciting stuff. First, I wanted to throw this out. I got on my eBay this morning and I found something really interesting is that one item I got a Vero for, that Karen Lynn rose brooch,
Yeah, I totally remember that.
was listed again. It relisted it somehow. And it had an alert on my account saying this is a Veroed item, please take your listing down. I'm like, well, what'd you list it for again for me? I had to literally end the listing.
So that is a case. I know what happened. I can tell you what happened. Remember how we hear people like tech and stuff say that even if we take it down, they can still get us for it? If it's in your listings, even though it's ended and you took it down from the Vero, they can still pull it. If it's a Vero item, not just like relist any item, they can pull it back to Vero it.
I have tried to get rid of that out of my listings
It's
for
just
it's
like
been years. It's been a
really,
couple
yeah, it has
years.
been, I think. Yeah, I think you're right. And I know you
And
wouldn't
it's
have
always
accidentally just
no, I
I,
couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do anything with it. It was just there and it had an alert on it. I seen it all the time. And this morning it was relisted.
Yeah, that's what they say to do to change to make sure you change the pictures and just
Pic
make it
yeah,
generic.
pictures, change the brand, change
Yep.
everything about it that has absolutely nothing to do with it.
Yep.
I couldn't do anything with it. It was like locked into my list, like my where was it? I seen it.
In
It
your
was just
unsolds, maybe.
maybe unsolds. It was just like I tried to get rid of it because I didn't want to see it anymore and I couldn't do anything with it.
Well,
So
that
anyway,
stinks. I've heard that does happen, but it's not it would irritate me too. I feel you. That
so I
one
think it's gone now. I hope.
you think you finally destroyed it? It
I think so.
I had the same gold medal. I had to report that again. I had like 15 items that I went in and I was messing with to import them and they had all changed to gold medal. I really wish they would fix that because anytime we go into it, it's like when it's not the original listing because I'm changing that. Obviously, I check that in my item specifics. It's whenever you go back into the item for any reason at all, it's changing it to gold medal even if you're not making any changes. It's crazy. And so if you have that happen, make sure you report it because they said they are still getting the reports. So as long as they're getting the reports, they will cover us. So just it's happening again. It stopped for a while and now I noticed yesterday it happened again. So just be aware because that's very annoying. And then when I usually last time I didn't even notice it, but I was getting messages saying, "Hey, did you weigh it?" And I'm like, "Why would I weigh that?" And then I look and
Ah,
it's very annoying.
actually
Um, yeah.
it's still in my ended file.
Yep. So change your pictures if you can, because if it's in your ended file, they can get you again.
How do you, I mean, there's no way to change anything on it. You click on the little arrow, it says edit note, add edit note. Let me click on that. You can add something in a comment section.
You
There's
can't edit the
no,
listing.
you can't edit the listing whatsoever.
In mine, I
It
could edit
says
the listing.
resolved. It says resolved
It's the
in
original.
the
So like
end file.
yes, so that one, you're right, you can't touch. The original listing is in there somewhere. That one is like your case listing, like the one that they zeroed you on. The original listing is usually still floating in the background somewhere.
Yeah, and
That's the one you have to change.
that's
Mine
the
was in
one
my
that I feel like I have tried for years to get rid of and get it out of sight, but it was like it didn't want me to.
It's like, nope, sorry, Lynn, you got to keep staring at me. Yeah, it's annoying. I'm sorry that that's annoying. Did you get your the APO thing figured out?
So, yeah, so doing a customs form, I haven't done one in like, I don't know, 2 years or so. So I totally forgot how to do it. So when I went to look at the list, I assumed it was saying, what is this item made out of? What material? And that's where you pick the tariff number from. Um, and they were like celluloid earrings from like the 1930s. And I'm thinking, I don't know. I have no idea what material this is considered other than celluloid. Well, they had cellulose, which is like a paper mache type product. I thought I guess this is more plastic. So I'm analyzing all these different items to choose from, and it was driving me insane. And you just pick the jewelry one. So I seen the jewelry one and I opened it up and there's like 50,000 choices in there. And I just randomly picked one. I hope it's the right one, but
I picked the one that just says fashion costume jewelry. That's the only one I ever picked because I don't sell gold and silver really. So
I did
I use
not
the
even
same
see
number.
fashion costume jewelry.
I use the exact
I
same
didn't.
tariff number and exemption code on every single form I do, and I've never had a problem.
Well, that's not one I seen. Is it the one where it says pearls, precious metals, and then imitation jewelry?
And it's like 7445 something, I think. 744 or something. I use the
Seven,
same number.
seven, four, four, seven.
I save it and I just copy and paste it every time. And then the exemption code's the same. It's like E711 maybe. I do these all the time because since I sell a lot direct, I have to fill them out constantly. So
So
I'm in
where'd
there
you
all the
get
time.
the exemption code?
Clicked on the box and it brought me up some examples. It brought me up, click on the box.
I should have
Mine,
saved it. I should have just waited to do it. I finished it, but I should have just waited because I don't think I put the right exemption code in there. Because
you'll probably be
there was
fine.
like, you click on the little I right next to it, and it says if
Yep,
you're shipping to Canada, use this code. If it's under 2,500, ship to the or put this code in. So I the put that code
you'll be
in.
fine.
It was only two options.
Yeah, well, I think they've also been working on that because I think there used to be more, but I think you'll be fine. It's you'll be fine.
I hope. Okay.
I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, I use the same numbers every time, and and I do know that several of mine have been opened and repackaged, and I've never had any issues. So
Hmm.
I think you'll be fine. Nicole,
Are you ladies talking about if you're not using the eBay global shipping program, you're shipping direct?
no, this was a military base. So if you have a military base that's outside the country, even inside the eBay program, you have to fill out customs.
Okay. Because I don't fill out customs for anything, although it's strange. I've been getting a lot of international sales lately, more than usual, but I don't fill out any. I'm
Yeah, if
not.
they're military bases, you have to.
Okay. Okay.
The APO addresses. I don't
Got
get
it.
those very often, but when I do, I have to fill them out. You know, one of the best things I did too is I used to for the customs forms, and and I ship a lot direct overseas, so I get a lot of customs forms, and I would always like print those off on my printer and then fold them under and tape them on, and it was just a pain in my butt. And then somebody was like, "Don't do that. Just print it off on your roller label. It goes through. They just scan it." And that made my life so much easier. I've never had an issue with them. So even though they're
Thanks.
really tiny print, I still just put them on the
I was
Rolo,
gonna.
slap them on.
I was just gonna say that it even printed smaller than my 4x6 Rolo. It was like 3x5 on that label. So then I reprinted it on my big printer.
Yeah, no, mine, I just hit the damn button and whatever comes out gets stuck on the thing and it makes it. So I'm happy about it, I guess. I only ever had any issues shipping direct to China. Like for whatever reason, they were always getting sent back. So I don't ship direct to China anymore. But other than that, I don't have any issues internationally. Now I say that, now I probably will, but I have a whole lot of issues in the United States with mail now. This is like my third mail claim of the week I just filed this morning. So they're just like hanging out at post office and not going anywhere. So Catherine.
I have two things. Just a reminder that Lynn, somebody wanted to see if you are willing to show your inventory system. I think was it Nicole?
Yes, thank you for
Yes.
remembering, Catherine.
Yes. And then also I have a question about a piece of jewelry. I don't know if anybody knows what kind of dog that is. Whoops, I'm turning it the wrong way.
I would call it a terrier,
Okay.
a devil terrier. That's what I would list it at.
Well, it's a cool piece. It's you know,
Nice.
probably Victorian. It tests as sterling silver. It's not marked.
I think that clasp is probably a little. It's not a. What kind of clasp does it have on it?
C clasp.
No, the other end though.
Oh,
Looks like a Scotty.
I was gonna say Scotty. Yeah.
That's a little. What do you think on that, Lynn? I think that's a little newer. Like not new,
Yeah.
new, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's not 1800s or
It's-
anything.
It's probably
I'd say 20s if I had to guess.
it's really hard to say because it could be an artisan piece. You know,
You'd say
it
it's
could be
what
from the 50s, could be from the 80s. It's hard.
I
That
don't
one's hard
think it's
to say.
Victorian, is what I meant. It's not.
Oh, okay.
Victorian. That's my opinion only.
It's really cool though.
It is
Yeah.
very cool. Very nice.
what would you
Very nice.
price it at?
Depends on if you can find one just like it and it's, like a popular piece. But I'd say $59.99 is probably what I would start at. What about you, Lynn?
Oh, that's more than what I would have said, so I would go with what Carrie says because she doesn't go
Only
high very
because
often.
I don't go high very often, that's right. But it's a dog and people love buying stupid dog stuff. And I would start it at that, but be willing to go down.
Yeah,
But I
and
would
I know
take that
people
shot.
look for particular dogs, so I want to make sure I put the
So if you'd like a lot of hate mail, mislabel a Scotty as, I don't know, but I was
As a-
off a breed or something. I got so many messages from store stalkers like, that is not, I raised this and that's not what's, I'm like, okay. And don't buy it for your
Oh,
Scotty.
sorry.
And they were sending me like pictures. I mean, apparently I was just wrong on this stupid dog and just made me not even want to sell this stupid thing. But yeah, I would go high. People like things the dogs, and then I'd just be willing to go down.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's a nice piece, just not Victorian, which is totally cool because people are gonna buy it because it's a cool dog. But I would totally, yeah, you know me, I'm gonna label it as a little devil dog. Larry had some pieces he wanted to share with us, and I would love to see his haul
Yeah,
he's been getting.
these are not fantastic or anything. These are more things that I just have questions about because I'm a little stumped.
That's right. I couldn't think of the word book chain to save my life yesterday.
Book chain.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the word. I know that word. I couldn't think of it. My brain wasn't working. My Google Lens wasn't working. Finally, I'm like, Lynn, say the name.
And
She
what
did.
is the purpose? It's 2 clips.
That's a
Their
scarf
sweater.
clip.
Yeah, sweater. Or I call them sweater, but yeah.
Scarf clip.
Yep.
Sweater clip.
Scarf or
I call them
sweater
sweater
clip.
clips. Yeah, same thing.
Okay. Next one. And I know that this has been discussed in one of the jewelry calls a couple months back, but this is really thin stamped metal.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you call this class of stamped metal? I mean, it's not Indian. It's not. Is there a name for this class of jewelry? It's a large brooch. I mean, it's 3.5 inches long or whatever. This is a really cool carved thing.
I call it pressed metal, but it's not. I don't think.
I call them embossed
just-
press metal. So yeah, we're pretty much on the same page.
Okay.
Yeah, what Stacia said, it's for a cardigan. It holds those other clips. It holds each side of the cardigan together when you're wearing a sweater.
Or
I
if you have a scarf around your neck, you can.
It could do the same
clip.
thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. I've seen. This is the second one of these I've seen.
Is it Bakelite?
It's very old plastic.
Did you test
It's
it for
just
Bakelite?
No, this would be my chance to use the chemical I bought to
Did
do
you-
that.
Or you could
Pull
just
it?
snip it.
It's an open pin. Did you pull one
Yeah,
side
it's a
out?
pin. It screws off on one end.
Yeah, it unscrews.
Okay. So this is a pin.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
like just like a brooch.
So
type things.
one end would be removed, slip through the material, and then put back on.
Yes,
Okay.
like a stick pin.
Yeah, sure. This one, there were two of these in this lot, are similar to this. A very transparent, very cool coating on here. Have you? Yeah, I'm assuming you guys have seen this class of coating or surface treatment. Is there a name for
enamel.
this?
Just enamel.
Mhm.
Okay, but it's iridescent and it's really thin. It's not like paint, but anyway, so just enamel.
Enamel.
You could maybe
Man,
say
as soon as I pulled this one out,
pearlized.
I was praying for a maker's mark, but there was not one.
That's
like,
what I was thinking, Lynn, to say pearlized. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I
if
always
pearlized.
use the word, or I use the word iridescent if it's got that
Yeah,
color,
yeah.
but it's the same thing. Yep. Either one works.
Okay. One more, I believe, and this is hollow ceramic. I mean,
The Chinese cloisonne.
Cloisonne,
Cloisonne.
Cloisonne.
Tois.
I'll put it in the
CLOISS.
chat.
Thank you.
Yeah, Paula, repose you got to be careful with because it also refers to a time period a little bit. So I only use repose when it's a new, older rest piece. How about you, Lynn? When do you use
Oh.
it? I only use it if it's more of a
Yeah, it's
older.
more like a relief type of, like
Yeah.
it bulges out.
Yes, it does.
That cloisonne, that's pretty popular. Them are pretty common. They're
I throw
probably
them in
in
the
the
box.
$20 range.
Okay. And it's Asian in nature or in
Yes.
origin.
Mm.
Yeah, it definitely has it's got a inlay. There's some brass enamel.
I don't know it does. I don't know if them are actual cloisonne.
They're not. So I was just gonna say that. So you'll see a million of them though that look like that will be marked cloisonne. The actual cloisonne is like the actual gold paint in between the. It's like actual cloisonne is really good. Like if you get a really good actual Chinese cloisonne beads, they're really good. That is kind of like a rip off of cloisonne. I don't
Like
have a good word.
they did the same thing, but maybe a lot thinner. Like they might have used wires to make the designs, but
Yep.
in or be painted
Mm.
Yeah.
gold instead of wires.
Well, back when I was in making jewelry in high school, I made something similar to this where I soldered down in this case brass pieces and then filled it in. And in my case, it was with ground up turquoise. But this just looks like it's cavities that were made. Somebody inlaid the brass and then
These,
came in with enamel. With
like
this
these, right, Lynn, Carrie?
Oh, it's
one
so hard
last
to
one.
see.
One last one.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So this is a brooch, but it has, or I should say, it's a pin, but it also has a clip.
Somebody added it on later, probably.
Like an earring.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in an awkward place where it wouldn't work
Like
as
a scarf clip. Could be like tried to use it for a scarf clip, but they could have pinned it on too.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. There was another one that looked similar to this. It was a little bit smaller, and there were three of them that were identical, with just pins. So
Scatter pins,
what is that called?
like scatter pins.
Scattered.
Scatter.
Mm-hmm.
That would
Yeah.
make sense. So you could randomly place them in various, like in a pattern on your lapel or whatever.
Yes.
I don't know what the hell they do with them, but probably.
Scatter pins.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So with that,
They used to put the really little ones in a pattern like of a flower, and they would use flower pins to make the larger flower.
Good to know.
so the last thing just want to throw out there is if we're talking about, these bulk purchases or whatever, how do you guys deal with getting rid of the less desirable stuff? Carrie, you mentioned you just got two piles, right? It's either ready to list or it goes in the box.
And I'll sell it for $5 to $10 a pound in the box. Yep.
How about you, Lynn? How do you deal with getting rid of everything that you get? Well, I know it's less of an issue for you because you cherry pick, right?
Yeah, but with this $1,500 lot, I have a lot of scrap right now and I'm struggling with it. So I have a box sitting next to me for broken, damaged stuff, scrap, repurposed lot, which I guess I'm pricing them too high because I haven't been selling hardly any of them. And there's hardly anything good in it. So maybe that's the other thing, people just aren't. So I've been throwing like good pieces in with it, just good modern necklace or something just to, make it a little bit better. And I sold one out of three that I listed so far, so it's
What
taking a
size of
while to
boxes
get
or
rid of
lots are
them.
you doing?
Yeah, how big, how much?
Well, I did the small lot and I did a medium flat rate. Um, I have to go look. I know 29.99 for which one? I've been kind of waiting for them to sell to list
I
anymore.
made a bunch of 2 pound plus, if it fits, it ships small boxes, and I sold about three of them at $29. I was really surprised.
Yeah, they sell
Um,
pretty quick.
but I think I'm lowering the price to like 24 because I've still got another
So
3 or 4 that are sitting.
I'm probably gonna have to do that too. I have it at $29.99 for the small flat rate and $49.99 for the medium flat rate, and it's 9 pounds.
Okay.
The other one I think is around 10
I
pounds.
think your price is not bad. I think I mean that's about what I do mine between $5 and $10 a pound usually is what I price mine at. And they move really quick. But my stuff's a really good mix because some of it's fine. It's just crap I don't want to list, and some of it's broke, and some of it's really old broke, and some of it's newer broke, and it's a pretty good mix. So I think that helps a little bit.
Yeah, that first photo has to be like a winner and have like something like really flashy on the top. And sometimes I have to realize like if it doesn't like sell immediately, I'll just redo the first photo and put like something better on top, and it sells.
Mhm.
I do have a variety of pictures in there. I don't just put one picture. So I throw,
Yeah.
a nice bracelet
Oh
and that
yeah,
one's
I
on,
mean the
that's on
first picture
top.
has to be like
So,
just
First
something like a big
picture for
rhinestone thing on
lots.
top.
and I could switch them around once in a while. Maybe that would help the first picture. But the other thing I do is like this past weekend, I brought a bag of necklaces that were all good. I had them individually bagged and they were just modern stuff I don't want to list. And I sold them. It was a trade. I sold them for $1 a bag. Some bags I had two in one bag or three in one bag, depending on the necklace. So I sold 60 of them. Um, I still have some left. I have them listed on Facebook Marketplace, like a huge lot of them of 200 bags for $200. Haven't been able to sell it on Facebook Marketplace.
The
That's why
junk
I'm
lot's still
struggling with
good
all
on
that.
Facebook. If you offer shipping and so they can just hit the buy button, I could sell junk lots on Facebook Marketplace all day long.
Uh, in Houston, our market got flooded by that big estate sale that I was telling you guys about. They distributed the stuff out, and now there's about 4 sellers that are selling it for like $2 or $3 a pound. So the market's flooded in Houston.
Well, the good news is though, if you set it up for shipping, it's going to be seen all over the country. So it
Ah,
won't matter that you're flooded in Houston.
okay.
Because I don't do any local
I might,
pickup. Mine always gets shipped.
I might try see, I have a Rubbermaid full of crap. That's why I'm just like, sell it by the big lot to one person, get rid of it all.
My house is full of crap.
I get a gallon baggie full and I get anxiety. So I'm like, get it out of my damn house. Um, It drives me nuts that now Rowdy wants to part it out because I mean, I could sell those big. I like the large flat rate boxes. I'm like Lynn. I like them when they're just a whole large flat rate box. Here you go. You can have them all. And if you find the right person, um, you can definitely sell them like even to all the same guy. Like I sold the last batch eight large flat rates to the same guy.
Yeah, I got a question for this guy. It's on this white nylon rope. Would you take that off? Would you replace it with a gold chain? Is that going to matter when it goes to sell?
No,
It would be
Okay.
in my
Sell
junk
it like
box,
that.
so it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, yeah.
If you look on eBay, there's like 5,000 of those exact necklaces. I get them all the time, and I'm always like, God dang it. Those stupid thing.
So-
In the junk lot it goes.
I didn't say you needed a junk lot. I do because I get so many of them. That's a
You
pretty
can
bracelet.
collect them and put about 3 or 4 of them together. I sell
Well,
them on
but then
occasion.
I'm creating child lots and
Another,
I'm trying to
exactly.
follow Carrie's
So-
advice of processing it all at once.
That's very nice.
So I just listed this bracelet today. Does this not look like a Hollycraft?
The stones
not
don't
lo- it's
quite.
It's not labeled. Because I just got an offer on it. I mean, I just listed it right before the call and got an offer on it. And now I'm thinking,
I don't think
is it a Hollycraft?
The stones are
Wonder-
too big.
Doesn't scream Hollycraft to me. I don't know.
It doesn't me either.
Okay. What was the offer?
I think it was 30.
Hell yeah. Hit that accept
Yeah.
button, Lynn. Hit the accept button.
How would you not take it?
Well, it came in right in our call, so I want to like make sure I'm focused on it. Yeah, it was for 30.
You guys, I would drive you guys crazy. I don't even lots of times look to see what the offer is on.
I'm shocked that Lynn didn't hit accept. Like,
I know. I'm like, what are you doing? Say yay.
All right.
Especially a generic unnamed bracelet like that. Heck yeah. I'm like, let's go.
You guys want to talk about Jomaz?
Did you have a counterfeit one?
I don't know.
That's not the normal signature, but I don't see a bunch of those. It might just be newer. Lynn, do you see a bunch of those?
They're real.
No,
heavy.
I hardly ever
Possible.
see them as.
If they're real, they're worth anywhere between 50 and $150. I'm really hoping
The
they're
ones
real.
I get are smaller print and they're a little script, not like total script, but like I mailed one out yesterday. If I hadn't mailed it out, I'd show you, but I just mailed it yesterday. My Joe Maz one, and it was like a small script. Maybe I have it in my, but different. Look up on where's that? Can you link that site, Lynn? That's got the identifying. Where we go look for, because it could just be newer.
I did a
sorry.
Google Lens on this, and I didn't get any hits for this exact pattern. But
Yeah, that happens with Joe Maz. I mean,
Yeah.
that happens with it. I wouldn't worry about that, but it does.
Yeah.
The markings do look kind of funny to me.
So what happens when somebody calls you out on that?
Well, I mean, you get a violation from eBay if they turn you in.
Right?
You think there's people out there that will do that?
Every day of the week, all day long.
Well, the question is, would they have used that, like made enough counterfeit of that particular style or that particular
If the signature's
name?
not, if the signature's off, that's what the collectors will turn you in
The
for.
signature does look like others I've seen. I've seen.
Yeah.
Did a bunch of research on it. And the signature looks right, but
I'll show you the signature on mine.
yeah.
That's what I'm thinking too. I'm looking at other earrings with that same signature and they all look very, very similar. That Z kind of has a funny look to it.
Yeah, yep.
See, and mine might have just been older because mine, I've never seen that style of signature
With
on
the
mine, but
copyright after it.
it might have been older.
And the serrations on the back, the texture of the metal is consistent with others.
See, I've never had any with texture. I'll show you mine. But it could be that I just buy older ones.
I don't know, it looks like it has quality to it. It's just war. Like the gold tone is war.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm used to seeing here, I'll pull it up. My Joe Maz stuff has always been like really smooth. And the signature's been really small, but like I said, it could have just been old. I swear to God, I'm gonna kill it. Rowdy brought a friend over, and now she's freaking out. She's gonna go bite him. Like literally, she'll bite people. So let's see if I took a good picture of the back here. I ended up not selling these on eBay, so I don't know if my picture showed the back.
Yeah, when I started seeing those prices, I got real excited.
Where did you sell yours?
To a private collector in New York.
Oh,
Gorgeous.
So see, that's what I'm used to for Joe Maz.
Mm-hmm.
That's what all my signatures look like. They're like really tiny and they don't have the copyright symbol and they're always smooth.
All the other ones I've looked at have the copyright symbol after it, and
So it
they're
could be aged.
big.
Yeah, I went down that rabbit hole.
and
when you
does
guys-
yours? Sorry,
Mhm.
Lisa.
That's all right. I went down that rabbit hole when you guys were talking about it too, and his looks like other ones I've seen.
Yeah.
But
So
I
it
get-
could just be when they were made.
Yeah, yours
Right.
is older, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Carrie,
yours
does
is
yours
probably
have a patent number?
1955.
No, it
Yep,
does
it's
not.
right there.
Okay.
Mine does
But
not.
it could be just when it was. Just like Trifari had a million different kinds of signatures depending on, when it was made. Coro, they all do that. So I think I just have usually only picked up the old Joe Maz. So that's probably what I'm used to is just this one.
Okay.
Carrie,
And
did
then
you
on
get
the-
that in a lot or did you?
Garage sale.
Wow.
Wow.
Pretty
What a
though.
find.
And there's that's what I'm used to seeing on the brooches too. It's always pretty consistent. It's always hard to find the Joe Maz signature on things.
Wow. See.
And that was
And the
a
three little
$3
holes
purchase
that
or
are on
something?
your,
Sorry, Lynn, go ahead.
oh, I was going to say the three little holes on your paddle is the same on all these other earrings. They
So
kind
it
of have
could just be
that
the
pointed.
age.
Yeah,
When I saw this,
yours
I
is
thought it was
1955.
Trifari when I saw it sitting there. Because Trifari
Looks
did
like it.
invisible sets. And but apparently Joe Maz did invisible sets too, because I just didn't know it. So either way,
Alright.
for $5, it was a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think?
So
Mhm.
Boy.
yeah, there's a YouTuber that a couple years ago hooked me up with this guy in New York, and he only collects old Joe Maz, old Trifari, old, like really old designers like that. And so if I call him and I tell him, hey, this is what I'm gonna sell for on eBay, this is what I would get, he'll just PayPal me the money, and he never even chooses goods and services or anything. He just PayPals me the money and I send it to him. So he must not have an issue with money because
And I know you don't care, but how much do you think he's getting for it?
no, he's a collector. He has an amazing
Oh, he's a
collection. I've seen it.
collector. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Mhm.
I don't care if he would sell it, but I'm just saying
No, I
I've seen his
know.
collection.
That's
He's
why
a
I'm
guy.
curious.
Got
I
a
know.
beautiful collection. He puts them all like he has different designers behind different shapes of glass, and he's got an amazing collection. So I think that's why he doesn't mind paying for it.
Well, I'm a
People that have
very
more money
small
than me.
collector, but I will say that I love my earrings.
Are they Juliana today?
That's awesome.
I was
Cool.
Got 'em
admiring them
already?
in the call before. Can we see them?
I love that you wear it. I love that you wear them
I don't know
and
why.
enjoy them.
I love that
Life
you
on
pay
the-
for them.
Yeah.
Turn your head so we can see them.
Oh, sorry. Want me to put them up close?
Yes.
I don't
Very
see
pretty.
myself on screen.
Yeah, it's got
so-
about 5 Nivettes.
We can
Oh,
see it.
very
pretty.
nice.
Your head turn, we can see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
And the thing that really stunned me on these, Larry, is when I looked at them on the back, the whole thing is extremely shiny. It's like these things were never out of unless you really cleaned them well.
I didn't touch them.
They look almost like they're like brand new in the junk box, except for the workmanship on the front, which makes me think that they are old. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't think they're fake. I absolutely think they're real.
I think
And
some
those
people
were
didn't
from
wear
that
them.
that old lady that they were in a bag that was $10,
They're just
and the
so
bag was huge.
beautiful
They're very pretty.
Yeah.
and shiny. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to buying more from this lady.
Yeah, me
Did you
too.
buy those from Larry?
Yes, I did.
I just picked up on that.
Yeah.
So
I have to
I know
Yep.
you
that.
got your Napier one, Suzanne.
I can't wait. Oh my God. I wanted to tell everybody about this. So, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I mentioned about the Napier. If anybody could find any of the Napier charm bracelet or earrings I was looking for, I held that one up. Or I guess it was something we were looking at on a screen. I don't know. But I get this message from Lynn that she's found a pair of the earrings. Well, I'm so excited. I go to this site and the earrings were $75. And I thought, well, I'm thinking about this overnight, how stupid I am. I say to myself, I'm going to click on there and say, watch, maybe I'll get what do you call it?
An offer?
Discount, she'll send me a little offer. Well, I look and I thought, I don't know if I can go to bed on this, whether I should just take them right now and run. So anyway, I was so tired. I said, I'm just going to go to sleep. So I woke up the next morning. I look at the earrings. They're still there. Thank God. And she had them on best price, but there were no offers allowed. So I couldn't even have made an offer, and she didn't accept offers. So anyway, I got that buy now right on those, and they haven't come in the mail yet because I just bought them Monday, I think, or Sunday. But thank you, Lynn. So from now on, I'm going to put up here what I want, and you all will be running out finding it for me. And
We may already
also,
have it.
Carrie sent me a picture of the bracelet that was sold for a
It
great
wasn't sold when I
price.
sent it to you. It just sold fast because it was still available when I sent it to you.
Oh, so I'm telling you, it was
It sold
sold.
fast.
Yeah, it sure did. So
I do know a lady that has all the Napier bracelets like that. She has all the charm bracelets and duplicates of some, and she sells them, but she gets 175 to 300 for each of them, but she has all of them. That's all she sources.
Oh,
Suzanne, you mentioned offers, and I was wondering, when I got that Laurel Piana coat, that's the kind of thing as far as clothing goes where I'll price it lower than everybody else, but then I won't take offers, and I'm for sure not going to promote it because Laurel Piana sells itself. It's cashmere, it's high end.
right.
Do you guys do that with your really, really high end jewelry?
How do you not promote it? Doesn't it? I guess I have it set where everything automatically gets promoted once it's listed.
I think
How do you
you
delete?
can.
Yeah,
how do
I'm
you
not gonna mess with that.
exclude
Everything
one?
goes promoted.
So you don't go
Everything does.
less. How about for offers?
Of course. I'm going to show you some of that when we're sharing our screen here in a minute.
Okay.
I got a couple comments. Well, you undersold this set. Okay, well, I paid $5 for it, and I got a couple hundred in less than 3 hours. So to me, that's a hell of a return. Am I going to hold out, hope for more offers, and then I'm staring at it 6 months from now, still holding out, still hoping? And now, how many times could I have made more money on that money?
I don't understand people that have enough time to tell somebody else you lost money on that. I don't have time to even take a sip of a drink once in a while. And I don't get it.
Exactly.
I have so much
Yeah,
time
it's
on my hands.
ridiculous.
I certainly don't have time to teach them about the art of compounding. But if I did, they'd figure out that while they're sitting there, I know this person is the only reason I was probably snippy. All I said was, I know you have that same set and you've had it for 3 years.
Oh, I
Yeah,
would have just said
true.
compounding.
Must be nice to be
respond
independently
compounding.
wealthy. I would be my response.
Right. That's what it is. That's
My billionaire prince has yet to come, so I need to sell my things. I'll
I
put it
don't
on
need
the
to get I want to turn it over and get that money and spend it somewhere else, Ooh, that's really pretty.
So Suzanne said she wanted to see my Juliana.
It's a nice color.
Finally got it listed.
That's a beauty.
It's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it has a little pendant thing.
It does.
I've never seen one like that on on the
I don't
top,
think I have
the way
either.
that's made.
Juliana tends to be open back.
I was gonna say, this is a typical Juliana back. It has
is.
sporadic rivets, not a lot of rivets, just sporadic ones. It has a pin stop, which you can kind of see here. I'll show a different picture. It has some open backs. It has the puddling, which is right here. It looks like figure eight. It has like a string between it. It has some closed backs. You know, this is just like a typical Juliana back.
That's
Yeah,
classic.
that's a really
Pins.
That's a
that's a
classic.
really good example. Yep.
Yep.
There
Here's
are
the little
totally
pin
closed black
stop.
Julianas, but that's a typical one.
Yeah. So yeah, the here's a good picture of the puddling.
Even though
It's
the
not
author of the
so
book says that's not a sign, I also look at that. So I am guilty
yeah,
on that.
and there we've talked to Ann Pittman, we've had her on before, and she will tell you that puddling is not a sign of Juliana. It's a like a bad thing that
That the maker of Juliana actually says that those were mistakes and it pisses him off, basically, that people say
yeah.
that. But I'm guilty as charged that I look at that too.
Me too.
I do too, and I feel like it is a signature of
And
Juliana
those
because it's
stones
only on them.
on the front are also pretty typical, like how those round ones are a little bit raised up, like they're a little three-dimensional, a little bit on the front. That's very, I mean, they're well made. They're not like the little prongy,
And the prongs there show you it's Juliana. I mean, that's
Yep.
the
Yep.
setting itself. Once you look at it, you know it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
And the other thing she says is the pin stop is not a signature of Juliana because a lot of manufacturers used it, but she said these broke off so easy. So not every Juliana is going to have one. So yeah.
I've had them broke off, but I do look at that too. So yeah, you got to look at all of it. And some of them are totally closed back, and some of them, if you don't know from the book, you would miss them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. And especially like the figurals and the figurals are really hard. I think they're kind of hard sometimes to figure out. I always have to look those up because I miss them. And a lot of people
Yeah.
label butterflies as Juliana when they're not. Lynn had one that was, and I totally agree with her that hers was, but it's actually fairly rare to find a Juliana butterfly.
I was at the flea market this past weekend, and this lady that sells all brooches and some extras, she bought a box of, she went around, I guess, before they even opened and bought several pieces. She had a Shriner, she had a Juliana, a Robert Rose, or original by Robert, I think. And she had like a box of about 10 of them. And I was like, and she goes, you would have never paid the price though for them. And I said, well, how much did you pay for them? And she paid 150 for some of them. But I was picking them up and looking at them. And I was looking at this long flower. And she goes, which one is that? Or who do you think the maker is on that? And I flipped it over. I said, Juliana. And she goes, oh, I was just testing to see how good you were.
Oh,
I'm like, okay. And that one's a Shriner, and that one's an original by Robert. Mm.
I would have had some words for her.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I have my own YouTube channel.
No, I don't want her to even
No,
start
I feel you. I
watching
get
my
that too.
channel.
Why? I love your
Um,
channel. Your channel is great.
So
Oh,
this one is one that I got really
criticize.
precious about. I listed it in December, which is a long time ago for me. And I got some better offers than this right at first, but I didn't take it because I
Pretty.
thought I could get more. And now here we are 90 days down the road, and I hadn't gotten any offers since I just listed it. And I should have taken the initial offers. Is the story behind that, I guess. So still decent turnover. I think I got this for like $3 or $4. I mean, it wasn't a big deal because it does have some gold tone wear. It wasn't
What,
like in perfect shape.
what's the maker's mark look like?
Uh, Schiaparelli. I don't know. I mean, I know, but I don't know where it's at.
There it is.
There it is.
Boy, that is
So,
war.
yeah, it had a lot of wear on it. But if it hadn't had any wear on it, it would have been like $600-700. So
So you
it
sold
was
it for that price or
it
you
was
took an
cool.
offer?
Hmm?
Did you sell it for that price or you took an offer?
The 243.67 is what it sold for.
Jeez, with all that wear.
But you know what? Look
Well,
at
it
it
would have
right
been,
there. You don't see the wear. So
yeah,
from
if you have
my
it on,
perspective,
Yeah.
it's beautiful and I would wear it and not even think about it. So
Yeah, especially on the back. But I'm
and being
just
the
like,
Chaparelli like that particular one, if it had no wear, I would have priced it like $500-600
jeez.
yeah,
and probably would have got it.
yeah,
But
you
it had
would.
a lot.
Mhm.
This was a hand picked or in a lot?
It was in a lot.
Mm.
Yeah, but I think that one ended up being like cost of goods was like $3 or $4. It was in a lot that I bought at a sale, at a garage sale, but I bought it as a lot. This one I bought from that lady I told you that was local that's having that was whatnot shows. And it
Ooh.
sold in like 6 minutes. I
Beautiful.
think I
Them
took
are
it from her
always
for
good.
150.
Pretty.
I think I sold it for 150.
I have those.
Yeah, so no, I'm not ever precious about taking offers
That's,
at first. Like, let's
that's
go.
beautiful.
I paid $2 for it on the whatnot show, so it can go to a new home immediately for $150.
Did you call that stone, Carrie? Because the gray bar is blocking it. What is it?
I didn't
Oh,
call it anything.
oh,
It's not a name, it's an oh
It
yeah.
looks kind of like a moon glow,
moon
I
glow.
called
or
it pink.
something.
Yeah, I don't know what
but
it is.
transparent.
I
Carrie
called it
crazy
pink.
though. What's wrong with her?
I have a
Um,
quick question.
yeah,
When you
please
see
do.
the sellers like on eBay and other sites that like your Schiaparelli bracelet, for example, they have all of these like phenomenal vintage pieces and they're all in excellent condition. Do you think that they repair like because that Schiaparelli, couldn't you have like wouldn't there be people who could like repaint the gold and make it
Sure,
look, do you think there are people who do that? Like,
of course.
and then do they disclose it or
If it's a really good repair, they don't need to disclose it, but professional, I'm not talking about me, but there's professional repair that does really, I mean, you would never know.
Looking at these Rivoli stones, this brings up a very good point. I found a bracelet that I had bought in a set with earrings and a pin, and it was not so years ago, and I didn't notice that it was a Juliana until I don't know recently, and I looked down at it, and it had been repaired. I know because there's uh, these stones, and one of them is a different color than the others. But it's enough that you wouldn't know. I never noticed it. I bought it and I've worn it so many times I can't tell you. And it finally
If
I
I
looked
can,
at it and I said, "Well, that's been replaced with the wrong colors." But
if I can tell that there's like solder somewhere there wasn't, you can tell the solder is different, or if I can tell a stone's been replaced, even if it looks really good, I do disclose it. But I guarantee you there's people that repair them good enough that you wouldn't be able to tell.
oh no, this you wouldn't be able to tell from the front, and I certainly did not inspect the back to see that, and I didn't see it on the back now if I look at it. So I'm not really sure if it. I'll have to bring it out and show you all when you can see it. The color changes, but that's beautiful, Carrie.
And this is the one that I got crap about, that I undersold it. So could I have held out and got $300? Yeah, for sure. But I listed it on the 5th and I got offers, several lower offers. And then I got one for, I think I took the 150. I think I took a 150 offer. Like, absolutely. All day long, I'm taking $150 on this. I paid $5 again for the set at another garage sale. So, why would I not flip that for $150 in, a couple weeks? There's no way I'm going to sit on that. And if she turns around and she can get $300 out of it, does not affect me at all. And these are called the owl ones because of the owl eyes. And don't some people every time they see the Rivoli stones and the Margarita stones or the different ones like that, automatically think it's Juliana. There's lots of other makers that use those stones, types of stones. They're not all Juliana, but this is a pretty typical Juliana also. This is the one that I forgot to put the back picture in. And then every time I went in to go put the back picture in, it was like had an offer on it, so I couldn't change the pictures. So it sold without seeing the back. I would never buy a Juliana without seeing the back, but it's somebody that
And you
buys
don't
all
want to
things.
take it down. You don't want to take it down and repost it because you got
But
all
then I
these
was going to
people
lose all the
following
watchers.
it now. Mhm.
Yep, that was what happened. This is my broken charm bracelet. So I bought it for $3 at the flea market because it was missing a charm. So they're like, it was in their broken pile,
Oh,
but it had such cute little enamels on it.
Say sterling silver somewhere, or you tested it?
Yeah, it's sterling. It's one of those, so like it's marked on all of them. See,
There it is. Oh, okay.
but
It's hecka ugly. You got
this is the only time I'm really naughty like that. Like this was obviously sterling. Like I mean, the old sterling. Sometimes you just like there's no doubt that these were sterling.
I think that is late 1800s.
Yeah,
oh.
and after Lynn called that to my attention, I think she's right. I think these were either way, I was happy with the turnaround. I could have put it on Buy It More and probably got a little bit more, but it sold within the week. I started the bid at $50, so it did okay.
Oh, you put on auction. I didn't think you did auction.
I only do it when I have no idea what to put it at, and those can go anywhere
that's
from $50 to hundreds.
Hmm.
So I wasn't sure. I was happy with. If I would have gotten the $50, I mean, it wouldn't have been a terrible turnaround. I wouldn't have been happy, but it would have been fine. I don't think I had anything else amazing this week. This Silpata bracelet didn't look amazing. Like it had a little bit of wear, but I got it in a big lot, but it was really pretty. I
Wow.
also didn't try to polish it up. It was sterling, and I don't polish up sterling, so you get what you get with me when you get the sterling. But it was
Do
pretty
you
good.
always pull the backs off of earrings?
Yeah, they're freaking disgusting. I'm not messing with them. They're gross. They have like skin pieces and crap in them. They go straight in the garbage can.
'Cause I had somebody complain that I sold them a set of pair of earrings and they did not have backs on them. I
I've
didn't,
never sold a pair of earrings with backs on them ever because they're
and I
gross.
noticed that you do call it out. You that
Yeah, I
you
do say that. Yeah.
yeah.
I've never had anybody say anything about it, but maybe it's because I disclose it. I don't really know.
That's
I
cool.
did a call on Austria's forbidden fruit on the other group, and literally that next day in my queue, this set came up, which was funny. So, this is an Austrian forbidden fruit set. Had it 200, took 150. It was listed for a couple weeks.
beautiful.
Really good when you get them. The backs usually look pretty much like this, and there it says Austria on it. They're usually japanned on the back, and
A silly question.
Mhm.
What do you do? I mean, why would somebody buy earrings without a back on them? They couldn't wear them.
they use their own from other pairs.
But it still has the post.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were taking the post off.
Belinda.
I'm not a jewelry
I
seller,
take the
obviously.
nasty little germ factories the backs off of them. And then I was buying, I was like, well, I'll buy the cheap ones and stick them on. And then I'm like, nobody cared that I wasn't sending the back. So I just,
Carrie,
and
could
I
you
don't
talk,
sell a ton.
I have a whole thing of backs that I just pop on earrings because I lose them all the time.
could you
Yeah.
talk a little bit about the stamp Austria? Is
Mhm.
is that one maker? Is that obviously it's a
It's where
country,
it was made. It was just made in Austria.
but that doesn't necessarily, not all things from Austria are created equal, I'm assuming. Yeah.
They usually have better quality glass and rhinestones, in my opinion, but they're not priced the same. No. The
Okay.
forbidden fruit are just really hot right now. The little Austrian fruits are really hot right now. I can't tell you why, but they are.
Because I know in the pile of stuff I'm processing, I've got a couple of pieces that the backs look just like that.
Well,
They're,
I think Catherine probably
they're
bought
black and they
those.
have Austria written on it.
I'm sorry, Larry. No, I was just going to say, I think Catherine probably bought these so she could use them on her for her logo.
Yeah, I was thinking about
That
when I
would
saw
be
that. I
so
was like,
cute. But I always thought forbidden fruit was like the lucite that had the rhinestones in it. Aren't these glass?
These are glass, yeah. These are
So
very,
is-
those were stereotypical forbidden fruits from Austria. That's exactly what they look like.
Okay, I only used forbidden fruit when I found like it was that lucite and then it has the rhinestones in it. That's what I thought forbidden fruit was. But you're way more of an expert. So.
I am no expert, but this is what I call them. So, and I didn't get any nasty messages from all my store stalkers, and they are super fast to call me out when I'm wrong on something. So,
I think I always thought it was like
Those are
fruit,
so cute.
fruit. That it didn't matter in this case. Like,
yeah, they could be blueberries, they can be, but usually they're Austrian, and then they have most of them have that Japan back on them and say Austria.
According to Morning Glory Jewelry, they say forbidden fruit jewelry is made in Austria in the 1950s with acrylic. It includes apples, grapes, lemons, oranges, strawberries, watermelon, blah, blah, blah.
These may not have been glass. I don't really remember. They were just, I don't know what they were.
They look
I didn't put
acrylic.
glass. Yeah, I didn't put glass in the title, so it probably wasn't.
Yeah.
And I've been selling these like hotcakes. I have a whole freaking case of them. So I've been trickling them in. The Nolan Miller watches. I took an offer of 79 on this one.
Do they run?
No,
So, and you don't worry about that?
nope.
You
I
don't
sell
change
lots of
the
watches and I don't mess with any of them.
Do you say needs a battery?
No, because what if they put a battery in it and it still doesn't work? Because I don't know that that's what's wrong with it for a fact.
So are you selling it as is?
Yeah.
You
See,
just
I put
say
watch isn't
untested.
working.
Okay.
Watch is not currently working.
And
I
what's
just
the
sold a
condition?
vintage
Pre-owned.
watch. I sold a vintage watch to a gal and I put in the description, untested. I don't even open the back. You know, you're buying as is, whatever. And she sent me a message back saying, I got the watch and I love it, but it's not even working. Why would you sell a watch that doesn't have a working battery? Now I have to pay $8 for a battery. So why don't you just send me $8? And I'm like, I don't do partial refunds. That's just part of my policy, but you're more than welcome to return. And she goes, not even for $8. You'd rather, remember, you have to pay the shipping for me to return it, which
That's
is
called somebody
more.
that knows the system. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, and that costs more than the actual battery would cost. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that's just my policy. You're more than welcome to return it. So I'm sure I'll get a negative.
Yeah, she working it.
Yeah. I'm like,
These
I'm
were
not playing the
fun.
game.
Little chili pepper ones. So there are, for anybody that doesn't know, there's Lunch at the Ritz chili pepper cowboy earrings. If you find those, you can usually get $400 to $500 for them. So I have not found them, but I see them when I research. So I had the little
I've
menu
never
card.
seen it. Is Lunch at the Ritz the brand or the style?
Yep, it's the brand.
Catherine, just
The newer ones are LATR is how they're marked for Lunch at the Ritz. But yep, it's a brand. I have never had a bad Lunch at the Ritz. I'm not saying they're not out there, but they sell really good and they sell fast. So I
Is
sold
there a
this
logo?
the same day.
Is there a logo on those?
Probably, but I didn't take them off the card because they hadn't been worn. And when I take
Oh.
these off the card, sometimes they get like where they don't want to go back right, and then I just don't mess with them. Always include the menu card, in my opinion, even if it's in bad shape, people like them.
Yep.
So if you have the menu card, it automatically will sell faster.
Real quick, Catherine, if that lady gives you a negative feedback, contact eBay. I had that happen on something and I told them it's right there in the listing that the battery's not included. And they took the negative feedback off.
And also mentioned that she asked for a partial refund, which is against her policies, and they will also take it off for that. So either way, you should be good. I agree with that. I have a whole tote of these, so I'm trying not to like flood my own market with Nolan Millers, but I'm trickling them in the system here. So, but they sell really fast. They sell really good. Not all
Was
of
that
them.
a
It was
TV
broke.
purchaser kind of obsession? Some lady that
It was on Home Shopping Network. Yep.
yeah.
I bought this the day before I listed it. It came in the mail from eBay for $13. I took an offer of $69 the next day on eBay.
Beautiful.
So
Is that a
I do that
pill
a lot
bottle?
with things.
Is that a pill bottle?
It's a Match Vesta. I buy these all the time on eBay, and then I turn around and put them on eBay and flip them.
Oh, what? For matches?
Yeah, they're called Vestas.
Oh, okay.
People put them in there to keep their matches dry. You can tell for sure that that's what they are because of this right here. That's where you would strike the match. Or sometimes the Match Vestas, the inside is you strike them in here.
Ruby.
Yep, I buy them all the time. They're always an easy, quick flip. I have no idea why that guy didn't buy it for the guy. I bought it for $13, but
Uh-oh.
the last one I'll share is this little guy sold full price pretty much immediately.
Yeah, you guys.
I was gonna say I'm trying to find whose dog that is.
It's Catherine.
Lynn's got to do it. I can't do it.
Oh, Lynn.
Yeah, Lynn's got to do it. This little guy sold almost instantaneously for $60 yesterday.
That's great.
How do you know
Just
it's
a little
lucite?
bug.
How do you know it's lucite?
Because it's plastic.
It's warm. It won't feel cold like
Mhm.
glass.
Right?
Just a chunk of plastic in there, Larry.
Looks and feels like plastic and therefore lucite.
It is plastic.
Right.
You always say lucite for everything that's plastic.
Okay.
If it's
I-
clear,
I
if I can
don't.
see through it, if I can see through it, I will. Otherwise, I don't.
What do you say, Lynn?
I say that's very similar to what I would do. The clearer ones, if they're like nice and shiny, they hardly have any bubbles or inclusions in them. Usually it's lucite.
Yeah.
Lucite's a little heavier than acrylic. Acrylic's usually lightweight.
Okay. Acrylics.
See, there's another watch. I do it. This one did need batteries because it was brand new, and I just think it had never been. It might actually work when they pull it out, actually. And it was missing a stone too, I think. I know I sell the battery, and Rowdy sells watches, so he could change my batteries, but then I'd have to hear him complain about it, so I just don't have him do it. They sell fine without it.
I don't know if I shared this one last time. It's pretty
That's
cool.
really nice. I like it.
It's Bakelite.
Beautiful.
That is a nice one.
I paid $8 or $10 at a estate sale, but she sold me a slider bracelet that was for like $3.75. It was a double slider. So I paid up for this one, but it still sold for $129, which I was kind of shocked about. This one I sold today.
Oh, I like that one
I
too.
sold it last week and the lady never paid for it. And I sold it to her for $99 and then she never paid, so it got relisted and I sold it the same day for full price.
Gorgeous.
Nice check glass.
Was that one signed?
No.
You can tell it's check, obviously, but it's pretty.
Yeah. If sometimes you might see these kind of remade, not kind of, but you would see them remade and it would probably have a lobster claw clasp. This type of chain you don't see nowadays. So that
I don't see
gave
it very
another
often at all.
clue.
No, never seen.
No.
It's beautiful. And you did a
And-
great job with the photography too. I like the way that's
Yeah,
arranged.
it looks really nice.
Yeah, and this was just crystal clear. Both of the stones were just so pretty. You could tell it was like shiny glass, check glass. And I finally sold this one. I had this one a while, but it sold for, I almost want to say $129. But yeah, it was kind of like your watch, but mine doesn't have the actual watch on it. So
Yeah, but yours is signed.
I like-
Mine was kind of crappy new. Yours is nice signed one.
yeah.
That's very similar to the stuff I was making in that guy's garage in Phoenix.
Yeah,
That's
Nicole,
cool.
we could do a jewelry on designer unsigned pieces, and Lynn will lead it because Carrie doesn't ever attribute anything to unsigned designer pieces besides Juliana, because I am terribly bad at it and I just don't do it. So Lynn can lead that call. I'm not.
I don't know. That would be a tough one. Be a real tough.
Yeah.
I'm not a
Don't even know
and
how to approach
I am
that.
I am of the mindset lots of times that sometimes I'm really pretty sure, especially with like certain old Coro, there's certain ones that are Vendome has a lot of really nice unsigned pieces, and I'm pretty sure, but I'm never sure enough, like because I'm just not an expert in that at all. So I just price it like it is, and it usually still sells for that price.
And that's what I do.
Yeah. So it keeps the wolves away.
You never put the question mark in the description, like you're
You're not
totally
really supposed to, so I never do that. It's against policy.
okay.
No. If I'm sure enough to do that, then I figure you got to commit, but I'm never sure enough. I just don't trust myself. Like maybe if I got like a Shriner ruffle brooch or something, maybe I would go all out on that one. But
there's times I've put it in the description saying this really looks like a Shriner brooch to me, but I do not have proof that it is. And that's only if I'm like 99% sure that it is. But there's still a slight possibility it isn't.
yeah, I'll write that too. I'll put like show, or I'll say other listings I see attributed to this designer. I can't prove it. I'm not sure. Use your own judgment. See pictures, use your own judgment. So
So
I don't know. I'm bad at that.
if you use terms like that, it's going to trip on the if somebody's searching for that designer, right? So it'll show up. But what's the likelihood you're going to get some sort of Vero or complaint by eBay?
Well, you're not going to get a Vero on those because everybody's dead. I mean, like they don't really actively Vero as far as I know is the old.
Okay, I meant to say INAD.
But you're not saying it is that designer.
As long as
You're
you
just saying it has
explicitly say
attributes.
that it is not, or that I can't prove it, or that
I'm saying it has attributes that point to that, but I
yeah,
don't know and use your own judgment. And a collector's
yeah,
going to know, especially if you're asking a couple $100. They're
right.
going to be sure before they buy it anyway. And they know more than me because I don't know. I've only done it once. And all the pieces of jewelry I've sold, I've only ever said that I know this is for sure. I knew for sure it was a Joseph Mazer sterling ballerina. I was sure. That's the only time I've ever done it. I had some lots. Did anybody else have anything they would like to share or ask?
I only asked that because I've come across, and I've sent these to Lynn too. Sorry, I'm eating. A lot of Hattie Carnegie's early stuff was unsigned. And or was it Miriam Haskell or both?
Both.
So, because I have these antique screwback earrings, they're like kind of chandelierish, if that's a word. And then they have the real coral chips, the orange, bright red orange coral. And so it's like, how do you know? And you just buy every book on every designer and do a deep dive without doing, going
How much difference on price are you going to get if you find this expert that you spend hours trying to find if it is or not? Are you going to be able to squeeze out of it because you can put that label on it?
That's true. I mean, I enjoy the education part of it, and I enjoy the history. Like this was always a passion of mine for vintage, and now I'm starting to want to turn it into an income stream. But I enjoy learning about the history and the it's just so fascinating to me about.
It's just like I could strangle everybody that thinks because they have a wire backed something, it's got to be an unsigned Haskell. That drives me crazy. Lots of designers use that, but everybody wants to say, oh, it must be a Haskell because it's got the wire design on the back. No, it doesn't have to be. It absolutely doesn't. And in lots of ways, Google Lens has ruined part of the vintage jewelry industry, if you ask me. Because you can Google Lens lots of things. It'll tell you it's a Hattie Carnegie. It'll tell you there's 50 other people that say it's Hattie Carnegie. And then it's like a domino effect, because people list it without even thinking. And not you. I'm saying it just happens all the time. And it just, yeah, it leads people down rabbit holes that aren't necessary, I guess. What do you got, Lynn?
My Google Lens, poor Lynn.
You know that
That's very pretty.
this piece has earrings that match, and none of them are marked, but they're quality made,
You're very nice.
Pretty.
and I can't tell if it's Miriam Haskell, if it's Hattie Carnegie. Dang it.
I just list them as unsigned designer. I mean, they're obviously well made.
Yeah.
You just price them up.
Yeah. Or you can go to the Facebook Miriam Haskell one or Hattie Carnegie and ask. But you have to do research beforehand, otherwise they throw a fit. What did you do to research it?
I try to stay out of piranha tanks because it's not good for me.
You would put
And that's what those women are.
Don't bite back.
Yep.
They're
You put those
nasty over
words-
there. They are. And some of them are flat out wrong. That's the problem I have. So if you're an expert and you're an ass about it and you just like showing off, okay, whatever, I'll bite it. Like just tell, like share your knowledge. I will osmosis it. But when you are wrong and you're nasty, and some of the
Carrie,
women are just wrong.
you would put the words unsigned designer in your description?
Sure. I mean, you can, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, somebody designed it, right?
True.
That's
Yeah,
not keyword
every
spamming.
piece
That's
we
keyword-
listed is probably an unsigned designer. Almost
That's
every
good
piece.
keyword. It's not keyword spamming. It's a designer piece. Like who's going to say it's not?
True.
But I don't spend, yeah, them. Oh, yeah. I'm okay if you're just like, I know some arrogant people, like especially in farming, like with veterinarian fields. My vet is arrogant, and me and him have literally been toe to toe, nose to nose, like yelling, spitting in each other's face. Like that's, I mean, he has really set me off a few times where we are just like, and I always tell him to get a damn stool because he's really short too. I'm like, stand on something. We have like been fighting, you know. However, he is the best in his field when it comes to sheep. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He is right every time. So I put up with his little arrogant self. He doesn't think women should be in certain positions or that we don't know as much or can do as much on the farm, you know, type of thing. So me and him have just like gone toe to toe. However, he's really good, right? So it's the same thing with jewelry. If you're really good and you really know what you're talking about and you have a little bit of an attitude, I'll deal with it. But when you're wrong and you have an attitude, that's irritating to me. And some of them just like to fight to be fighting over there in the different jewelry groups. They just want to argue to be arguing. They don't even have any, you know, they just want to be, they just want to be rude. Now, I will always come back and say, what makes you think that is? Right? So people send me pictures or whatever. Like, I want you to try to tell me what makes you think that so that then I can help you if I feel differently, right? Like, I want you to try. But I'm not, some of those people are just mean. No need to be mean. Oh, we're over on our time, but I had some lots. When you guys are looking at lots, we kind of talked about lots in the last call. I guess the thing that I try to pick ones that were good this time, like maybe that I wouldn't always necessarily purchase, but I just picked up a few. These all sold instant, like the ones that say newly listed, so you can tell they sold right away. So that means somebody out there thinks that they're good. Doesn't necessarily mean that they necessarily are, and we don't always know if they're resellers or collectors either. I saw this one pop up, and when I clicked on it to look at it, it was already sold. So this was a good, I think that this was a good one to show because Larry had asked, this is true old cloisonne. In my opinion, this is the old cloisonne. This is also probably Chinese import, if I had to guess. And those are going for really good money right now. So this is, see the difference, Larry, how it's, and the colors are just beautiful in this.
So it looks
so
like it's lifted. Is it lifted?
They're like wires, right, Lynn? Is it wires?
Inlaid. I think it's called inlay, isn't it? They're inlaid.
Well,
But they're,
they take a metal ball or shape, and then they take wires and solder the wires to the ball, and then they fill it in with an enamel, like a powdered glass, which is enamel, and they fire that. Then they sand it down, and then they pour more in. So it's done in layers. So
Filled
it's a
in.
very
So all their stuff is like
intricate.
that? All
Uh,
those.
I don't know about all of it,
So
but it
what?
was all very good quality if you ask me. Like, I
Oh.
mean, these were very nice pieces. But this was just a good example because Larry had that cloisonne. This is real cloisonne, and like I said, I think it's probably that Chinese import, which is especially this one looks like it, and they go for really good money. Um,
You know, that's a good price for
so
that $200 when you look at it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of necklaces in there, and especially if you are a collector or you sell
Yeah.
these. Anybody who sells this is going to know when they look at it right away how much they could get from each piece.
yeah, and they're all the little birds, which that's a really good theme to have in this, and the colors are terrific.
Yeah.
And I think it's the real deal. My guess is she didn't know maybe what it
Yeah.
was.
He's only got 86 feedback. She's probably new to the.
It's for the church, so it's the
Oh,
church's
yeah.
eBay.
Mhm.
That
All net.
necklace looks like it had jade, like real jade gemstone beads. That one, yeah. Those look like jade.
I don't know.
Beautiful.
Jade's one that eludes me sometimes. But
Jade,
to me, the
aventurine,
koi,
it's all the same.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, me too. I'm like, I don't know. But that enamel is amazing, and yeah, very good quality, nice
Beautiful.
lot. That was a good lot, and it sold. Like I said, it popped up, gave me a notification. I got into it; it was already sold. So I probably would have hopped on that one. Those look up Chinese imports sometime. The real deals are amazing prices. This sold pretty good too. I think it sold immediately, which was kind of amazing for its price. But this lady doesn't have great feedback either, which would have made me a little nervous.
Inventory for life.
That's what my inventory feels like. It looks like for a week.
Oh my gosh.
It's not, but it feels that way. It feels that way.
Wow.
That would be a pretty big investment to not be able to see it in person.
Exactly.
But it probably, but see, like those are cheap pieces. Like to me, like those aren't, they aren't all high end.
It makes such a statement when she puts them all together like that. And I was thinking the exact same thing when you pulled up that page, like $15, $15, $15. But then there's other pictures that are like, wow, that's nice. Now that, no. I mean, there might be some good a Weiss in there or something, but
So yeah, this is a good point, Lynn. So me last year, even a year ago, I would have been all over that tray. I would have been like, there's rhinestones, they're big brooches, what? And now I'm sitting here going, which of
there's
those would
nothing
I
in there.
like? Especially without being able to see the back. So that could be an old core. Are they okay?
Polycraft.
Yeah, maybe.
But you
Right?
don't
But
even
there's
know if
nothing
they're
in
all
here that
working.
that's true too. You don't know. And to me, I'm going to look at this just like Lynn said. There's very few pieces on that tray that I would pick up by themselves.
Mm-mm.
Right? But it's easy to get blinded by rhinestones. And people get blinded by rhinestones. But that tray, and this tray too, there's a few, maybe if there's really big or signed, that maybe I would pick up, but not very many. Like that might be an Eisenberg. And this one's nice, that big bow. I might pick that one up if it was cheap. People like bows.
Yeah.
And then like this one, yeah, colorful. I like this one. I would pick that one up on its own. That circle, that one right there. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Fruit salad, big one. That purple one,
What about
maybe.
the red? The red at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's
That
interesting,
one.
maybe. Or you could
Well,
flip it over. It could be
the one right above it.
this
That's
one.
pretty. Looks like iris glass.
Iris glass. Yeah. Yep. And even this one could be like, so there's some interesting ones in here, but are they all ones I would pick up? Absolutely not. Like this one in the upper left-hand corner, we've all had this one a million times.
Sarah Coventry.
Yeah, I swear that one like follows me. And that one probably Sarah Coventry
That one.
too.
The one right
Yeah.
next to it's kind of interesting. The wreath with the pinks.
Yeah, it
flames.
is. It's
This
interesting.
is iris glass.
It's like that. See how it's all different colors? Like pink
Well,
and
no, it's 3 colors. It's blue
pink, blue, and green.
and green, I think.
Mhm.
Okay, so what's the
Blue,
difference between that and Givray and Sabrina glass?
Give raise
well,
to
Givray is actually supposed to be clear with one color in it, but a lot of people use, if it has two colors in it, they use it. They use the word. Um, Sabrina is more like what I just said, where it's multiple colors.
Okay, thank you.
and like this. So I do think enamel flowers can sell pretty good, but like this one's an Avon one, I think.
Yes, it is. You're right. I have that same one.
And then yeah, I could collect those and we could sell bouquets. And get them just constantly. So like there's maybe a few I'd pick up on their own.
Yeah,
Like
there
even
was
that
a
little
lady at the
that's
flea market. Lady at the, yeah, I like that one. The lady at the flea market had a tray of them, and she said, I said, what's the price? And she said, oh, I'm just trying to get rid of them. They're all $5 a piece. And I kind of looked at her like, I wouldn't pay $5 a piece for these enamel. I said I would pay $5 for five of them. And she just kind of looked at me and walked away.
like some of these would sell for like in the $15 to $20 range. And like maybe if they were unique, like that little one, depending on what it is, how old it is and stuff, that one's kind of interesting. But there's not much on this tray I'd pick up by themselves either. So it's easy to get starstruck with jewelry trays, and I like the bracelets probably more,
Yes.
I think the bracelets were kind of nice.
That one's
There's
But
a
without
lot of
flipping them
clear.
over, and without flipping them over, how do we know that they're all not new?
Right.
Some of those look really good that are new.
Well, couldn't you return it because she's saying it's vintage antique, so couldn't you return it for an INAD because of eBay's guarantee?
You would have to
Probably.
return all of it. Can't just pick and choose.
Mm,
Yeah, you can't pick. Yeah, it's all or nothing. Just like you don't get partial refunds, right?
correct.
Right. So,
Them bracelets do look the best. Take out the clear ones, and yeah, the rest of them
and
I
how
think
many
are
do you really
fine.
have left? Right.
But picture somebody wanting to spend that kind of money up front thinking they're going to make money. That's insane to me.
Well, they may, right? So
Oh,
I've dropped thousands, but not when you really look at this, like this is nice. This is kind of cool. I think it's a Chrysler, maybe. I'm not sure. It's really cool though, right? So I would sell that by itself. I'd sell at first look, I thought
That
this was one necklace. It's two necklaces.
yeah, and the top one kind of looks like Holly Craft.
Yep, I agree. I like that one too. So there are ones in here, like it's not junk. Like she isn't selling junk, but if this was me a year or two ago, I probably would have popped on this, right? Or maybe not for this price, but I mean, it would have been attractive to me. Now it's not as attractive to me. That was my point with this and like some of these clampers are pretty neat.
Oh yeah,
yeah, they
I
are
like
nice.
them.
So it wasn't junk. And that's the thing too. We don't have to be looking like that necklace is gorgeous.
That looks newer.
Well, maybe.
Maybe.
And that's the thing. Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Are those matching earrings next to it?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think they want it to be, but I don't think it is. And so there's lots of things in here that I would pick up. Like I would pick up some of these clampers cheap enough. But it's just not getting blinded by trays like this was my point of this. Because do I think that somebody could make their money back? Maybe. I don't know. I didn't do the math, but I'm not in it to make my money back. Right. And this is a big investment. So it's easy to get blinded by rhinestones because we all feel like we don't find them. We all feel like but if you're just blindly going, okay, I'm paying $6 a piece for these. No, you're not.
If she
Right. You're
had
paying
best
$6.
offer, sorry.
Hmm?
If she had best offer, Carrie, would you make an offer on this lot?
Probably
And what
not.
would it be?
Have
Probably
to be a
not.
lot lower.
It has
Like
to be
a
like
lot.
2,000.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
If
you
it's
would
been
pay
up for
2,000.
2,000, I would pay 2,000 for it.
Okay,
Probably not much more than that.
okay.
Yeah, there's too many
So
leftover
it's just
pieces you'd have to get rid of.
That can
That's
be
Well,
it. I'm
isn't that
trying not to play in this playground anymore.
it's so funny? I just sold one of those medium flat rate junk boxes for $43.99.
You just
Right.
That
needed us to
9 pound
give
I
you
was
a
just
little,
talking about.
you just needed to give us to give you a little push on that. So give you some
Hmm?
eBay juju. So yeah, I'm trying to get out of this. This is the stuff I'm trying to get out. Like it's nice, but I don't want to deal with the excess stuff. And then you all of a sudden start going, well, I could probably list that for $15. I don't want to do that anymore. Or, well, I'll make a little lot. Ugh. You know, it's just, but it's hard to find the stuff that isn't like this. That's why it takes me so much time. But there are nice things. It's not junk. I don't think this person necessarily got burned. If they're good shape when you get them, probably didn't get burned, but probably about 5, 6 times more than what I would have paid for it. And I don't want it. I really wouldn't want it to begin with.
And
This
shipping
one
was
also seemed
$117. Whew.
I know, I saw that too.
it's because it's going FedEx. You know, I'm getting a big lot today that the auction house insisted comes signature confirmation from UPS, which I hate because like they don't even want to get out of their truck with my big dogs and stuff. But just so you know, you can sign electronically for signature UPS, like on my computer. So I did that. This sold also instantly. Before I could even look it up, it was gone. Not saying I would have bought it. I was just looking at it, but it sold immediately. This one I thought I I don't know. I don't think this was not where my $900 would have gone. But there was a lot of sets there. It's probably not for me, but I mean there's some again decent stuff in here. Those sets are nice. I like those sets.
Would you break them up?
Probably not on the thermosets.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about you guys, but thermostat ones sell good as sets.
But they're not amazing.
They're not amazing. And like this, like that's kind of interesting. That one right there. I don't know what it is, but this thermostats also don't love to travel. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that they pop out. The glue is bad. If you flip these over, it's very likely they have all that nastiness on the
Yellow.
back that the thermostat sets get. So I don't know. This wouldn't have been for me. Will they make their money back? Yeah, probably. But how long is it going to take? You know, wouldn't have been for me, but not a bad, not terrible. This one also sold instantaneously. I'm
Oh,
assuming there's
vibrant.
something here I didn't see.
It's vibrant. They use vibrant in the title. I like that.
And unsigned, don't put unsigned if you can't finish the word because now it's unsearchable. So there's a lot more. I mean, there's a lot of stuff there, but my guess is somebody bought it hoping that there's gold, maybe.
The big gold chunkier chains sell well for me, but not $550 worth. I
Yeah,
guess
I
that they're
agree, they do.
figuring $2 a piece.
That's the
The
danger,
earrings.
right? That's the
Mhm.
danger. People see these lots and go, I'm only paying $2 a piece. I used to do the same darn thing.
The earrings
Mm-hmm. Yep.
are not worth $2 a piece.
And even those little pins. Nope.
Yeah, that's pretty.
This is probably this. So this one I pulled up because so here's the front page, right? But look.
Nice.
So it looks like there's just that. It look, you know, when you're just scrolling, right? It just looks like it's just that. But there's more pictures.
Hmm.
They look like they're glowing.
But like that one is missing the whole pin back.
You have to look close.
Mm-hmm. So is it possible that this one was worth it? Yeah, maybe. That one could have been a Juliana. I'm not this one up here. I'm not sure. But it could have been. But who would really know for sure? Hey, Birdie. So that was my thoughts on those. Say hi to Suzanne, Birdie. Say hi to Suzanne. Say hello, Birdie. She weighs like 26 pounds and she's just over a year old. Like this cat's gonna be ginormous.
Yeah. Beautiful coat.
Yeah, she does, and she doesn't shed at all. The orange nasty one, it sheds all over my house.
My son brought his 2 cats to get neutered, and he opened up the car door and one took off running. It's gone. It's in another town too, so he's got the Humane Society has a post out if you find him.
Oh my gosh.
So
I wouldn't be able to sleep. I'd be out there all
Did he
night.
have him in a cage, or did he have him loose to the car?
I only had one cage, so he had the one cat in the cage to keep them apart in the car, and he let the other one kind of run around, and he barely got the door open and it darted off.
They're quick.
And they had everybody at the vet were out looking for it and gone.